Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So my name is Muhammad Faisal. I'm the chief examiner at Nafi. Today the date is August 27th, 2025. The time is 10:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Haroon-Ur-Rasheed with us today. He's going for his diploma in artificial intelligence operations, RQF level 5, RQF level 6, EduQual level 6 exam. The topic that you have today is orchestrating quantum resistant cryptographic migration with Vault, CERT Manager, and SIG Store for critical infrastructure. Uh, I believe that your basic information says that you are based in Saudi Arabia, right?
Yes,
Okay, Prince, yeah, temporary address is Prince Faisal bin Fahad Road, Al Hizam, Al Akhdar.
yes, that's my office.
Okay, so quantum computing is coming in over there in the Middle East, right? Organizations are testing it out. They have the money and the power and the resources to pull this off. When I say power, that means like quantum computing requires a lot of computing, electrical, lot of resources, right? So they do have all the criteria in terms of meeting up for all these deployment of the emerging technologies. Quantum is one of them. They are saying that AI is reaching its bubble because I was reading it today that NVIDIA market valuation is going towards upward of $4 trillion, right?
Yes, correct.
8% of the Dow Jones is now being managed by NVIDIA company alone. That's a huge, and 95% of the investment is being done when the companies who have created these AI models haven't even been profitable yet. The reason is that organizations are still planning and in the process of deploying artificial intelligence in their business processes, right? So there's a lot of uncertainty as they spread in the industry FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right? So they are saying if you don't invest in AI, then you will lose out on all the things, right? For the investors' perspective. That's why the investors have jumped on this bandwagon and doing that. However, the real implementation lies in terms of like deploying artificial intelligence in organizations. Saudi Arabia is already doing many, many things right now. They already have achieved the first company in the world, which is 42,001 ISO compliant, right?
Yeah,
They're already pushing out many, many things. And they have the resources, the capability, the compute power, the electrical power. They have all the things that they need and the investment to deploy more than 22 technologies that we focus on right now, which is part of the 2030 Saudi Arabia Kingdom's vision. Prince Mohammed bin Salman who's focusing on that. Quantum is one of those areas, right? Because it gives you the speed, the agility that you need. So in today's exam, you'll be going through post-quantum cryptographic implementation. Once the quantum computing is on the scene, organizations have to quickly need a post-quantum implementation strategy of how they can secure their information because quantum is already here. It's already available. Some of the companies are charging around $7,000, $8,000, something like that. If I go online, AWS quantum computing price, right? So they are charging like the Amazon. Amazon is charging somewhere. This is the quantum, the Amazon bracket as they call it, right? So the Ionic Q, they're charging per task price, per short price, as you can see. And then they're also basically for the reservation mode, you can book it for $7,000 per hour, right? So organizations are already deploying quantum computing. In some way or the other, this is available. It is getting better and better as we are moving forward. However, these are the companies, providers overview, Ionic Q, IQM, Rigetti, and QEra. We are providing quantum computing track, which is part of the artificial intelligence specialization, which is part of the domains that we focus on within the core integration framework that we work on, right? So you can see it is coming on the mainstream, right? So your topic is very relevant. If you do it properly, you can be in a position to work for the companies within Saudi Arabia or in the Europe or North America, wherever you want to go, in terms of designing a post-quantum cryptography implementation. Because as soon as quantum computer comes, the classical cryptographic functions will become useless, right? So organizations already need a strategy, and they're already working towards it. All the major organizations are already working towards it. So advanced certificate management is another one, secrets management and key life cycle, supply chain security and code signing, cryptographic policy and governance, and migration strategy and risk management. These are the 6 areas that we'll be touching in today. And then there's a lot of open source and cloud native tools that we mentioned that you have to mention in your presentation. The presentation is going to be 15 to 20 minutes, maximum up to 25 minutes. I can give it to you, followed by 30 to 40 minutes of Q&A. Are you ready, Haroon-Ur-Rasheed?
Yes.
Okay. Please share your screen before I activate the timer.
Is my screen visible, sir?
It is. Just give me 1 minute. Okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Wait. I'm just writing it down. Hold on.
Okay.
Just let me write down the time because I have to fill out this sheet every time I do this thing. Okay. You may start now.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Haroon-Ur-Rasheed, and today I'm going to present this topic to you, orchestrating quantum-resistant cryptographic migration as part of my exam, Diploma of AI Ops EduQual RTF 6. Quantum computing is accelerating, and today's cryptography won't hold forever. And in this session, I will show you how to migrate safely using open source tool like Vault Cert Manager and Sigstore to build zero trust foundation resilient to quantum threats. This is going to be the structure of our presentation. We'll start by explaining why post-quantum cryptography matters in a few slides, and then we will move to NIST SP 1838 cryptographic migration roadmap. After that, we will assess the risks, design hybrid architecture, secure the supply chain with Sigstore, select algorithms for analysis, define governance, walk through an end-to-end flow, and anchor it with the case study from Ornells. And then before closing, we will see the glossary. Moving to next slide. Quantum computing is not a distant possibility anymore. With over $38.6 billion, which is projected to hit $106 billion by 2040, the pace is accelerating, and so is the risk. Classical encryption is vulnerable. Shor's algorithm breaks RSA and ECC, threatening SSL, TLS, and firmware signing. While Grover's algorithm weakens AES and SHA, making brute force attacks practical. Quantum principles like superposition and entanglement give attackers massive parallelism, perfect for traffic analysis and AI-driven attacks. That's why we will align our presentation with NIST finalized post-quantum cryptographic algorithms, which are standardized under FIPS, Federal Information Processing System 203 through 206. Hybrid migration is already underway, and by 2030, cryptographically relevant quantum computers will arrive. Moving to the next slide, which is the industry analysis. On the left, you can see that McKinsey's matrix plots data shelf life against system life cycle. So you notice the insurance, public sector, and banking, they sit in the upper right quadrant, meaning their data must stay secure for decades. And their system must live longer. So those industries are exposed to HNDL, harvest now and decrypt later, which will address in the upcoming slide. And on the right, Gartner's hype cycle shows how emerging technologies move from inflated expectations toward practical adoption. And we can see that post-quantum cryptography is already, alongside generative AI, moving toward practical adoption. So in this case, if we act early, we will be positioned ahead of the competitors and regulators when quantum threat materialize. This is going to be the roadmap of our migration, which is NIST SP 1838. I have used here two different volumes, Volume B and Volume C. Volume B covers cryptographic discovery, threat modeling, and architecture integration, while Volume C focuses on interoperability testing and hybrid algorithm validation and tool benchmarking. While the lab-based guidance demonstrated that is covered by Volume B and Volume C both. The first phase is going to be the preparation, where we will do governance, roadmap, and set timelines, assign roles, and align stakeholders. In the second phase, which is baseline, we will do inventory, and we will build a cryptographic bill of materials, which is going to be a very important document while migrating to post-quantum. We will identify all the classical cryptography and all the cryptographic assets, and we will document it in the CBOM. Here we will also classify which system needs to be secured. Like in the government sector offices, if you have seen there, the old offices, there was like a shelf which was labeled salvage first in case of emergency. So this is the same thing that we need to know and classify what to salvage first. Phase 3 is planning and execution. Here we will do hybrid pilot deployment and validate post-quantum algorithms like Kyber and dilithium in the lab, and then deploy them alongside the existing environment in controlled phase-wise migration. Phase 4 is going to be the monitoring and evaluation. We will automate key rotation here, enforce policies with the open policy agent and artificial intelligence operations, and continuously measure the compliance. As you can see in the image, the CBOM trust and visibility and trust, it is connected to CBOM. So all the cryptographic assets and all the actions that we take, it is going to be recorded in the CBOM. The importance we will discuss in the next slide. So this slide covers the risks and the mitigation techniques that we are going to use. This is like a heat map. In the top, if you focus, you will see that supply chain exposure is on the top. And it has the highest likelihood and high impact severity. So starting from the first one, HNDL, as we discussed earlier also. HNDL is known as SNDL. Some people call it SNDL, store now, decrypt later, and steal now, decrypt later also. The effect of this threat is going to be catastrophic if ever applied. In order to mitigate this, we use hybrid PQC and encrypt long life data now. The second threat is vendor solutions, which might not be PQC ready. So it can cause us delays and lock-ins. So we have to conduct a readiness survey and ask the suppliers for PQC clauses in our SLS. Next is regulatory non-compliance, which can cause fines and security gaps. So in order to mitigate this one, we have to adopt standards early and monitor the updates. The next risk is algorithm agility, and we have to be able to quickly switch the algorithm in case an algorithm is broken or deprecated. So this could cause us downtime, which can then cause severe effects. So in order to mitigate this one, we have to use open quantum safe or open SSL for plug and play agility. Finally, supply chain exposure is the highest risk quadrant, And code tempering can compromise everything, as it was shown in the SolarWinds incident also. Supply chain exposure caused a very catastrophic effect. So in order to mitigate the supply chain exposure risk, we have to use SIG-Store and apply OPA for policies. Let's move to next slide, where we will see the hybrid cryptographic system architecture. This slide shows us how hybrid cryptography enables secure and flexible migration to quantum-safe systems without disrupting legacy infrastructure. Vault manages both traditional keys like RSA and ECC alongside quantum-safe keys such as Kyber and Dilithium. Cert Manager, working with issuer like CFSSL and Balder, issues hybrid certificates that embed both classical and post-quantum pairs and signatures, allowing system to verify either signature type depending on the capability of the system. If the client is modern, it can use Kyber and PQC. If the client is legacy, it can only use the TLS. So in both cases, we are going to keep our system running. This setup supports automatic key rotation, which keeps certificates valid across legacy and future environment, and prioritize post-quantum cryptography negotiation while maintaining fallback to the classical encryption. Altogether, the diagram showcases algorithm agility, ensuring forward compatibility with quantum-safe standards while preserving trust and continuity across existing systems. In the next slide, I will discuss SIG-Store. So there is SIG-Store here also mentioned, but I deliberately left it, so we'll discuss it in the next slide. This slide shows the SIG-Store supply chain and security implementation. The intertwined chain and the purple SIG-Store logo, these are going to be our trust anchors here. SLSA level 2 and 3 builds required to be reproducible, signed, and tamper evident, and the SIG-Stores deliver that for us. Cosign signs each step with the Fulcio issued identity certificate, and records logs everything, every signature in an append-only immutable log. While Intoto stitches the entire provenance together across build, signing, and verification phases, which can produce the attestations. This flow is zero trust. It shows the zero trust because the supply chain. This is like supply chain insurance, where we can see proof of origin, proof of integrity, and quantum safe readiness before the production. Moving to the next slide, which is algorithm selection and the performance analysis of the algorithms according to NIST selected post-quantum cryptography. So here, if you see Kyber 768, this is the key encapsulation mechanism. Kyber keys are the small one, about 1.1 KB and very fast encryption. These are small, but not as small as compared to the classic cryptography. It is like 4 times higher than that. Dilithium 2 is the default digital signature, and it is slightly larger at 1.3 KB, but efficient and secure. Falcon 512 produces the most compact signature under 1 KB, making it attractive for bandwidth-sensitive applications and deployments. Sphinx Plus is hash-based, and it is used as a backup in case the other algorithms ever face script analysis or are broken by quantum adversaries. This bar chart that I have shown here, it tells the story visually. Kyber and Falcon score best on both sides and speeds. Dilithium is balanced middle ground, and Sphinx Plus is the costliest, but it gives you resilience. So the takeaway from this one is that algorithm choice is not one size fit all. And this portfolio mixes efficiency, balance, and diversity, combining Kyber and dilithium for the main path, while keeping Falcon and Sphinx Plus for special use cases and crypto agility. In this slide, we are going to discuss the cryptographic policy and governance. At the top, cryptographic policy and governance sets our baseline. What algorithms we allow, key sizes and lifetime, protocol settings, and what evidence we expect. Open policy agent and gatekeeper converts that into code and enforces it. Next is automated compliance checking. We build the CBOM and scanning images and reports, compare results to our NIST post-quantum cryptographic profiles, and require SLSA level 3 plus for build integrity and provenance. And it can be watched in Grafana, and the alerts can be gathered by Prometheus. Then comes the centralized inventory and audit. Vault manages secrets, keys, and certificates, including post-quantum cryptographic keys. Though Vault natively doesn't support it, but that's why we are using external secrets and CFSSL and Vault. ACDI tools like automated cryptographic discovery tools, and we are going to use these to map where our crypto is used. There are tools in the market which can automatically scan all your system and provide all the details that is required for post-quantum cryptography. In total, and SBOM overlays that captures the build steps for provenance, which we also saw in the 6th slide. And all this ends at the admission controller and deployment gate, which is policy compliance with configuration, and artifacts make it through that gate. And the CBOM stays our source of truth, because as we discussed earlier also, CBOM is going to be very important in case of the documentation or deprecation of algorithms. In this slide, I have tried to show the flow. The input first passes through integrity checks, and then it goes through Vault and Share Manager, where the certificates are issued. Hybrid certificates are issued via CFSSL or Bolter. Artifacts are signed with the SIG-Store, and every build step is captured by Intoto for SLSA provenance. The provenance and the SBOM data flow into the AIOps dashboards for compliance and assurance, powering audit trails for crypto debt score and traceability. The verified output then moved through CI/CD into Kubernetes. This is the operation side, where open policy agent and gatekeeper enforces cryptographic and provenance policy. The rollout we do is going to be staged, and we can choose according to our environment whether we are going to use a blue-green or canary or full with rollback at every phase. So Prometheus, Grafana, and Falco provide us the operational monitoring here, and the tracking and PQC handshake success fallback rate and drift signals are calculated. The bottom ovals, these I just tried to show some domain-wise. So we'll move to the next slide. This is a case study from Ornell's Oak Ridge National Laboratory, who implemented the Kyber operations, Kyber integrations. And they have proved it that Kyber can be implemented alongside the existing classical cryptography without ripping apart your internal system and doing all from the beginning. This slide is the glossary of all the open source tools and standards that we have used. I believe I have explained everyone and touched them in the previous slides. And this is going to be the end of the presentation, where I think I have covered the risks, the roadmap, the architecture, a real-world case study, and We are sure that if we act now, we turn the threat into an opportunity to lead into a quantum-safe future. Thank you. This is the end of the presentation.
Okay, you may stop the sharing of the screen. Okay. All right, Bismillah. So you have been working at this company, Al-Faris group of companies,
Yes.
since 2010.
Yes.
So you did your degree, your bachelor's. When was that? 16 years ago.
In
20
2007.
2007.
Yes, 2007.
And then in 2010, you went to Saudi Arabia.
Yes, after doing jobs here and there, then I came here.
So the job includes Exchange 2003 and 2010. I mean, is
It
it
included when I came, we used internal email servers. Exchange server was there, but
so? Is the resume
it is still
updated
there,
or
but it is downgraded. We are not using it anymore.
okay? Because I was like surprised. Like, this is in 2025, and do we still have Exchange 2003 and 2010? Right, because
That's the
Microsoft
old
have
C.
discontinued it, right?
I will update it. That's the old C.
So the resume is not updated.
It is not updated.
Okay. Okay. All right. So reviewing that just to understand. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay. So presentation was okay. It was good. A little bit dry, right? But it was good. Alhamdulillah. So let's jump into some of the questions that I have. And so what are the two main, you mentioned, let me open this. So you mentioned something very important. And, uh, basically, the hackers are already doing that as we speak right now, right? One of the greatest risk is they're harvesting the data now and decrypt later. What does that mean?
That means that the encrypted data of the organizations, it is being harvested, collected by the nation states and quantum adversaries. In the wake of the Q day, which is going to be the day when cryptographically relevant quantum computers are going to be available, and then they will decrypt it with the high-speed crypto quantum computers.
I think what is the anticipated timeline that they're saying? Is it by at that time quantum computers will be readily available? Right now they are, but like very expensive, in very specialized use cases. Organizations are testing it out. Google is doing their own thing. I think the processor they created was Willow, right? So they did their own thing. China is as they say, and they have claimed through many research papers as well, they are like a little bit further ahead from US in terms of implementation of quantum computers and the stabilization of the processor and whatnot, right? So what do you anticipate? What is the anticipated timeline that the industry is saying that by that timeline it will be out in the industry?
Actually, while I was researching, I found out that there was a professor who anticipated the timeline, and then recently he changed their timeline and he moved his prediction 6 years earlier. I don't actually recall his name, but according to this presentation, they say that cryptographically relevant quantum computers are going to be available by 2030. In fact, IBM has already promised that they are going to deliver it by 2029. And as we speak, IBM is also offering 10 minutes per month for everybody to test their Qiskit library and use their quantum computers.
So we have created a whole curriculum, diploma in artificial intelligence operations with quantum computing, right? It includes many, many things. One of the key things is just like there is a hardware unit to it. There's a software programming, operations and DevOps, quantum mechanics for computing, quantum hardware architecture. I'm just looking at the labs that we have created. Superconducting qubits, trapped ion systems, photonic quantum computing, topological qubits, neutron atom systems. These are some next generation. So what does it mean like when the quantum computer comes out? Does the whole IT industry, like what will be the impact to the IT industry and the AI industry at large? Can you answer that question? That's a very interesting question because it relates to the post, quantum computing topic that you have. What happens when quantum computer comes out? Does cybersecurity goes away? Does DevOps goes away? The software programming goes away? I mean, does all of these things go away? Like what happens?
Actually, from what I understand, nothing will go away, but it will change exponentially.
Very good answer.
Like the classical cryptography, which is being used, it will be rendered obsolete.
So the only change is happening.
Yes,
It's very important, as you mentioned. Nothing will go away. DevOps will be there, but it will become quantum DevOps.
Yes.
Security will be there, but it will be quantum cybersecurity. IT architects will be there, but then there will be quantum IT architects. I mean, the essential thing is like the computing will be replaced by quantum computing, which is faster. Possibilities become endless. The AI becomes hypercharged, supercharged, right? And we have more possibilities because then we go and move away from the confine of the processing capabilities that we have right now, right? So even if the AI is running, it is running on GPUs. They will still be running on GPUs, but like if the CPUs become so powerful that they can do so much, we may have quantum GPUs, right? Right? So that becomes much more advanced at many, many stages. So in our program, we have IBM Quantum Experience, and the Amazon Bracket, the Microsoft Azure Quantum, Google Quantum AI, and D-Wave, which is the Canadian company. They have the system known as D-Wave Leap, right? So we are teaching all of them in our quantum computing specialization with AI ops. And then there's also quantum programming frameworks like, Qiskit, Penny Lane, Q, Hash, Ocean SDK, Cirque, Forest, Rigetti, all of these things, right? So these are the ones. And then and this is all through API gateways that we have, right? And then the quantum resource management. Which industries will be heavily impacted because of quantum computing?
As I showed in my presentation, can I refer to it?
Oh, sure.
In slide number 4, I've mentioned the insurance, public sector, banking, the government organizations, health organizations, those who keep data for compliance reasons for like 7 years. Like here in Saudi Arabia, they have the PG. There is a law here. I cannot recall the name
There's a
right
law
now.
for data residency and data sovereignty, right? So
Yes,
they
sir.
have
That data data residency law, it says that every organization, even our organization, which is not a high-tech organization, but the industry have to keep the data up to 7 years for compliance.
Yes. Which is,
So
I believe, is a good thing because there are certain good things, very good, in Saudi Arabia, which are very, you know, taken very seriously. And one of them is basically compliance laws and regulations, right? So if you comply with it, then you are safe and secure. But if you mess up the law, yeah, so depending on the impact, you will be punished heavily, right? At times, you can even lose your hands if you impact.
especially if you are an outsider, ajnabi they call it.
Yes, yes. Like, is it whether it's Ajam or Arab, it doesn't matter. We are coming and opening our first branch in Riyadh, right, as part of the 2030 vision. And we know that even I, as a Canadian and as a British, like if I come over there, the partners that we have, you know, we will be subjected to their law. So they are offering us premium residency as part of that, right? That allows us to do business without any Arab partners per se.
Any sponsor.
Still, we will be subjected to their laws. And I'm fine with that. I mean, perfectly fine with that. I mean, some of these things, they scare other people, but we are going there with sincerity and ikhlas. And so we don't have to worry about anything because like we are doing a legitimate stuff, right? Our legitimate business. But like other organizations, they they think twice because if you do any kind of corruption or anything like that, you will lose your head, depending on how far the consequences are. Ultimately, you can lose your head, right? So, yes, the industry specific applications are in the financial services side, healthcare side, pharmaceutical side, supply chain logistics, and cybersecurity. These are the 5 industries which are heavily impacted, uh, you know, within the and their subsectors are meant too many. In the financial services, there's banking, there's fintech, there's insurance, investment banking, and so you can imagine supply chain goes in everywhere. It touches everything, right? Okay. One of the things that we are teaching is most of the primary ecosystem of quantum computing is designed on what language? Do you know?
Again, sir?
What is the primary language in which most of the ecosystem of quantum computing software development toolkits are available right now?
Well, the Qiskit, I heard about it while I
You
was
went
going
through
through the.
this as the one of the most important course in your AI ops.
Yes, I was researching and I went through the IBM quantum computing course and some other courses also.
Yes.
The
Python. It's Python.
Python, yes, exactly,
So
Python.
Python is the primary, then is Q hash,
Because
and
the
then
Qiskit is Python library.
that's what I was asking software SDK, software development toolkits, right? Okay. What are the most common development frameworks right now in the quantum space, quantum computing? Name any 3 frameworks.
Some development frameworks.
You mentioned one, Qiskit, which is the
Yes.
open source quantum computing framework. What else is there?
Libox, OQS, or OpenSSL.
OpenSSL is not a framework. OpenSSL is a certificate option for you when you have to deploy SSL certificates, right? No, I'm talking about development frameworks for quantum computing. So the ones I'm talking about is like Qiskit, PennyLane, QBraid, Quest. These are the ones, and there are so many, but I just wanted to know 2 or 3 names. That's okay. Um, let's jump in deeper, right? So in the NIST SP publication roadmap, the 1-800-38, right? There's a roadmap.
Yes.
What are the phases of cryptographic migration?
There are 4 phases, sir, and these phases are not exhaustive, actually. They have mentioned a lot of phases, and from what I have collected,
Yeah, go ahead.
phase 1 is preparation, phase 2 is baseline, phase 3 is planning and execution, and phase 4 is monitoring and evaluation.
Good job. Okay. So what I'm interested in the 800 is like roadmap and governance, cryptographic inventory, pilot and hybrid deployment, and policy and monitoring, right? The phases can be renamed as per your requirements, but that's what I was looking for. That's okay. All right. So what is the primary
Yeah,
role?
I mentioned this point in my presentation, but I kind of forgot to mention.
You can refer to your presentation if you want, because I'm just using your
I was
presentation.
not allowed to change. I realized it, but I was not allowed to change the presentation later, so I did not change it.
What do you mean by you were not allowed to change the presentation? Once you submit
Actually,
it, you can't allow.
once you submit, you cannot change it.
Yes.
So I realized that I mentioned the steps in the phases on the slide, but I did not actually name the
That's okay.
exact.
Okay, you got the score.
But I did mention it in my
Yes, that's okay.
presentation.
So what is the function of the cert manager in a hybrid PQC adoption?
Cert Manager is actually the Kubernetes add-on, which issues the which stores the stores and creates the TLS certificates. But it can also communicate with the external certificate authorities like CFSSL and Boulder and external secrets operators.
Okay. How does the SIG-Store improve supply chain security? What does it do?
SIG-Store actually it verifies all the metadata and the binaries from phase 1. It once it receives the binary or the image to verify, cosign signs it, and the certificate is issued by Fulcio, and cosign signs it. Records logs it in an immutable log. It logs it in an immutable log, which can then be verified by anyone.
Can you come again, like about the SIG-Store? Like explain that again to me again, please.
Yes.
How does SIG-Store improve the supply chain security? Come again.
SIG-Store actually, let me open the slide. So, yeah, SIG-Store, it has 3 parts actually: cosign, Fulcio, and reco. When a request is received by cosign, it requests Fulcio to issue a certificate. That certificate can be ephemeral or it can be after Fulcio issues the certificate, cosign signs it. After that, it is logged by record in an immutable log, append-only log, which can then be verified later.
So if you're given a project and say, Haroon, we have to implement a PQC strategy, post quantum computing strategy, in terms of securing our data, right? And this is a financial institute where our data, customer information, everything is encrypted. Where would you start from first? How would you say, okay, step 1, I'm going to do this, step 2, step 3, step 4. Give me some steps.
Like supply chains security or any?
No, I'm saying you have to design a PQM, post-quantum cryptography, post-quantum, cryptography strategy. Like, for example, if this industry is changing, right, you will know that quantum computing is coming out, right? And the adoption will become major adoption when it is readily available. Right now, it is not readily available. It is available, but it's very expensive, right? So when it becomes readily available, everyone will be able to open it. Like, for example, I'm using this Mac, right? The first Mac I had was a very old Intel Mac. It lasted for 10 years. Then I got another Mac which lasted for 4 years, and now I got this M4, right? Uh, as soon as the quantum computing becomes accessible, everyone will be able to use quantum, basically processors, right? Like developed on their laptops or available on their servers, or it's going to come first on the servers market, right? So now everyone has access to it, and companies know that this will be shipped out. We need some kind of strategy because the companies are still not prepared. They don't know. And that's why hackers, what they're doing is they're compromising the data, they're harvesting it now, decrypt later, right? It's a big problem, especially for financial institutions, right? A huge issue. So, what would you do? I'm an employer, I'm the CEO, and I say, Haroon, I know that you have specialization in AI ops and quantum computing. Please design a strategy for us so that we can secure our banking data, right? From this phenomena of harvest now, decrypt later. What should we do to protect our
First,
customers, our business integrity, so on and so forth? Where would you start? Explain to me the process, the elevator pitch that you say, I'm going to do this, this, and in the next, this will be my first step. What would you do?
first of all, we need to classify the data, what kind of data it is that we need to protect. And
Okay.
we need to create our cryptographic bill of materials. And this is like a project, so we will start from the beginning. We will start documentation and classify the data. Then we will identify which data needs to be saved or encrypted. Not all data needs to be encrypted. There will be some data which will be short-lived and it won't need long-term encryption. So we do not need that to save. We will assess the compliance requirements and then identify the data which needs to be encrypted in order to deal with
So
the
I'm the
MDL.
CEO. I'm the CEO, and I ask you a question, and you are going to answer me like this. You have to give me a good answer, right? Like, Muhammad, this is the first thing we have to do. So give me an eloquent answer, like modify the answer in a better light. Convince me that yes, Haroon is the right person that I've asked. What would you do? If you come like this, it's very dry. Has to be, like there is no smile on your face. It's like, a pet fish died or something like that. I don't know. Right? So you have to uh, convince me that I have asked the question from the right guy, right? So how would you approach me? Look, you are working in an industry where there is no one knows anything about quantum, post-quantum cryptography, post-quantum computing, anything like that. They don't know. If you talk about Kyber, Dilithium, Falcon, all of these things, uh, hash-based, logarithm-based, resilient, no one understands that. The CEO doesn't understand that, right? So you have to explain to them, what would you do first to get this, to ensure that the customer data is secure and it's not compromised?
So first of all, we need to do data inventory and current cryptographic assessment. We have to do some research regarding the post-quantum solutions and then decide which data needs to be stored. And for that, we have to use the NIST post-quantum cryptographic guidelines. We have to develop a migration plan, a pilot implementation. Then we have to.
That's okay. I give you the score, but that's not the full score. Like, look, Haroon, this is if you want to work in Saudi Arabia or if you want to go in Europe, you have to come up with a better answers. Like, for example, because the chances of you applying for a high global talent visa, and I'm going to show you all those things that you can potentially apply for after this, right? You have been in Saudi Arabia since 2010. It has been 15 years, right? So I'm going to talk about all of those things later on, right? And this question is going to come back again. So you have to put in some excitement and stuff like that to answer the questions. Anyway, so let's jump in. Uh, if dilithium is compromised post adoption, right? How would a hybrid certificate based on OQS and OpenSSL support recovery without causing downtime in a critical banking infrastructure?
Well, that's a case of the cryptographic agility. If an algorithm goes down due to cryptanalysis or it is being deprecated, then we have to use the cryptographic agility runbooks that we have already documented or created in our organization. So we must be able to plug and play and switch to the new algorithms without causing downtime, and we can do that by implementing phase-wise migration. I mean, if an algorithm is going to be replaced, it has to be tested first. First, we will test it.
What is meant by hybrid certificate? Explain to me what is a hybrid certificate?
A hybrid certificate is
which is based on OQS and OpenSSL. What does it mean?
Hybrid certificate contains two parts. One is a post-quantum cryptographic part, and one is a classic part.
You know the answers, but the answers are not coming out effectively, right? It's coming out in a very dry fashion. Analyze how a ZTA, Zero Trust Architecture, combined with SIG-Store could prevent a nation-state adversary from tampering with software updates in a power grid system. How would you do that? That power grid, so you're in Saudi Arabia, right? They have a lot of national infrastructure based on because what is their primary source of revenue in Saudi Arabia?
Petrochemicals.
Petrochemicals, right? So petroleum, the crude oil, that's right? So if that grid is impacted, right? How, what would you do? So analyze, right? How a zero trust architecture, right, with SIG-Store could prevent a nationwide adversary from tampering with software updates in a power grid system. So, for example, any nation, the nation which is right now performing genocide at the mass scale, we all know it, who that nation is. Everyone knows it. CNN, BBC, Guardian, all the well-known newspaper, Reuters, they're all saying that this is the genocide at the mass scale level, which is happening right now. I'm not saying that, it's the Western media. And if that nation wants to attack, right, and paralyze their power grid system, how would a zero trust architecture combined with SIG-Store could prevent that?
Well, first of all, it is going to be continuous verification. And in continuous verification, we have to verify all the users and the devices and their access level. Then we have to implement the least privilege access, the micro-segmentation, have to implement the real-time threat monitoring, and secure the supply chain with CTA frame.
let me ask you, when the system receive updates from Windows or from, Linux, how does the operating system verifies that these updates are coming from where? From a source server, from a YUM server, from a satellite server, right? How does it verifies? That's where your topic comes in. That's why this question came in. How does it verify?
Well, it is when a developer. I will give you the Apple Store example. I read about it. When a developer develops.
The answer is very simple. It's only a one-word answer. You don't have to give me a long answer. What is the
Checksum, hash verification,
certificates?
certificates,
Identity-bound certificates, like logs.
identity-bound
So,
certificates, the
so
OIDC.
that's why I mentioned zero trust
OIDC.
architecture combined with Sigstore, right? So how could it prevent? So if Saudi Arabia has that infrastructure, a zero trust architecture combined with Sigstore, they can potentially prevent any kind of malicious attack coming from these, nation state adversary countries, which can potentially impact them, right? Eventually, one day or the other, uh, as they say, and this is again not me, this is the Wall Street Journal and all these other newspapers are reporting that the country which is doing the genocide right now, their ambition is to mess up the whole power balance in Middle East, right? And to do that, they are going to put these nations under their feet by pushing and doing all kinds of cyber attacks and whatnot. Because there are three theaters of war in the world. Harbul Madan, as we say in Arabic, right? Harbul Madan means you're in Saudi Arabia. What does it mean?
Arbal Madan.
Harbul Madan. It means city warfare. Harbul Jabal, it means the mountainous warfare. And the third is Harbul Sabraniya, which means the cyber warfare, right? So these are the three theaters where all the things are happening, right? So so if Saudi Arabia has that infrastructure for their banking, same the zero trust architecture combined with Sigstore, they can ensure that their banking infrastructure, this comes in the critical infrastructure, right? Where the money is for all the people,
Yes,
the
yes.
electricity grid, the power grids, all of these things. So your topic covers all the other areas, right? That's what I wanted to know. All right, your exam is over. Let me compile the results. 4, 5, 5. How was the exam?
Well, not as expected, but let us see.
Okay, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So here are your results. In the presentation, you secured 21 out of 25, which is 84%. In the Q&A, you secured 20.5 out of 25, which is 82%. So your overall presentation score comes out to be 83%. Okay. Now, here is my recommendation for you, what you really need to do. Okay. This is very important for you to understand because looking at your resume, you have many good things that you already have, right? So I just want to make sure. So let me log in first. Hold on. Bismillah. So this is very important for you to understand because this is going to give you a good idea. Looking at your resume and everything, first of all, you need to update your resume, right? This
Yes, that is the first thing I'm going to do after this
right?
presentation.
Yes. Now, keep this in mind. This is very important for you. Okay. Um, you have been living in Saudi Arabia for 15 years now. It will be 16 next year. When did you came to, in 2010, when did you came to Saudi Arabia? What was the month?
January.
Sorry, what? January.
January.
January. So, yeah, so precisely 15 years, right?
Yes.
15. So it will be 16 years next year. Actually, 16 years, right?
It is
2010. Yeah,
it is going to be 16 in Jan.
right. So I'm not sure what is your pay scale where you are right now, but I'm assuming it's going very, very slow.
It's not even going.
Or it's not even going, right? So that's another thing. Now you can smile. Why were you so serious?
Yeah, actually, it is what it is. I can't help it.
So here's my recommendation, okay? You are 42 years of age, right? I saw your date
Yes.
of birth, right? These are the countries which are offering people who go there. Like, are you married?
Alhamdulillah, yes.
How many kids?
3 girls,
3 girls. What are their age?
13, 9, and 1.5.
MashaAllah. Okay. So 13 and 9, they go to school, right?
They're going to school, and I am thinking about the eldest one to go for the next gen scholar, inshallah. But I don't know where to start.
The Next Generation Scholar Program. Oh, that's a very intense program. They can certainly do that, right? But at least, I mean, so they are going to school right now, right?
Yes, they are going to a local school there.
Local school. How much is the fee?
The fee is like 7,000 for the both of them, including the transportation
7,000, including the transportation,
for
right?
both of them.
Which class is she in right now? The 13 years of age, she's in class 5, 6,
Five.
5. And the 9 one is basically class 3, right?
Exactly.
In Saudi Arabia, the good schools, they have fees reaching to upward ceiling of, I believe, if I just type in, right?
I will tell you.
Miss school fees, right? So this is one of the schools, right?
The foreign schools, they are charging like 35,000 per year.
Well, no. So this is pre-K and KG. It's 85,000 Saudi Riyal per school year. This is the Miss school, right? The grade 1 to 5, 105,000 Saudi Riyal, right? The grade 6 plus, 125,000 Saudi Riyal. They teach the same thing as we do. O level, that's it. But we teach our kids, if you go to anafe.com/pathways, right? So, for example, this is the foundation that your daughters can do from home, which covers 4, 5, 6 in the first year, 7, 8 second year. Then they jump on the O level. By the way, they start their Al Razak here. Their Al Razak is different. So they start doing all the labs and everything, right? So even the fee over here, is of all the 7 years, is less than what they're charging for this, is less than 85,000 Saudi Riyal for 7 years, right? And this is for one kid. So we are entering, inshallah, into the Saudi market. And that's the reason, because you can see, it's becoming expensive and expensive and expensive, right? Anyway, so what do you need to do? No matter even if you are 42, in the next 10 years, you'll be 52, right? Inshallah. If you stay here, you won't be able to do anything.
I'm not planning on staying here anymore, but let us see what you recommend.
Yes. So my recommendation to you is, right, you already have a bachelor's degree back home, right? And you have now AI Ops. Complete the Al-Razak labs, first of all, right? If you complete the Al-Razak labs, which go to the dashboard, right? If you complete the Al-Razak labs, you will be able to secure better paying job in Saudi Arabia, right? We are working with multiple companies right now. Whoever completes the Al-Razak program, right, will be placed over there, because we don't want to put our name on the line saying like, we got this, we got that, but essentially the person who's coming, he doesn't have enough experience or whatever the case is. So we just want to make sure that we get the best people over there and put in front of them, right? So you must complete the Al-Razak labs, part 1, especially part 2. This is very important for you, okay? The second thing is, if I go here, these are the countries which are offering immigration, right? Based on, uh, like a G20 focus area for a guy who has AI plus quantum skill, who has quantum skills, right? Or even has AI, have the strongest immigration and settlement pathways. Now in Saudi Arabia, they are doing that, but only for the highest people, right? Only for the high paying people, right? So you can apply for Canada, you can apply for USA, you can apply for UK, right? You can apply for Germany, you can apply for Australia, you can apply for France, Japan. Saudi Arabia is there, but you need to find a job upward of 50,000 Saudi Riyal, right? I'm not sure what is your salary. I'm assuming it might be not, I would say, 5 figures, like maybe 4 figures per month,
It's
maybe,
low, yes. Low.
right? So you can imagine your career is stuck, right? You have a lot of potential. You have the calm demeanor of a manager, which is very important. You just need to have like a slight spark, bring some smile on your face. I'm assuming like things are very rough over there. There is no smile on the face anymore, right? Which is fine, but a person always needs to smile. No matter what happens, I am always smiling with my kids. So I tell them like, do you want a serious Baba mode or like a funny Baba mode? So they say, no, we want funny Baba mode, which is better than serious Baba mode, right? So I say, okay, right? So you can imagine you are 42 years of age, 3 kids, that's fine, but you have a lot of potential. So you can go to these countries. You can apply to get what you want to get. Avoid Italy, avoid China, Turkey, it's fine. South Africa, no, avoid it. Indonesia, yes, right? Russia, no, avoid it, right? But there are other countries. Avoid these countries. India, avoid. I mean, we can't even go there anyway as Pakistanis, right? Mexico, Brazil, Argentina. Mexico and Brazil are good, but again, the top countries should be these ones. As I showed you, most of them are Western countries where they are looking for talent, right? So you can go there, inshallah, based on your resume. But you need to complete your resume. You need to complete your resume with all the information and everything before you go there, right? So that needs to be completed. There's a lot of things you have to do, right? Making sure like you are truly ready for all of those things, right? But you need to complete the Al-Razak labs. Al-Razak labs will prepare you, inshallah, and will take you to where you want to go, where you need to go, inshallah. Okay? So this is my recommendation for you. You pass your exam. This is great, mashallah. But then again, more needs to be done. Okay? My recommendation to you would be try and apply, get your resume in order after completing the Al-Razak labs, and try to apply for jobs, better paying jobs after completing Al-Razak Part 2 specifically, right? At least 6 months. You need to complete all the core domains. Then you will be able to not only apply in Saudi Arabia if you want to go, but long term, you cannot stay in Saudi Arabia. It's a short-term place. Saudi, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, these are short-term places until you have a premium residency. And they do not offer premium residency like that. Things might change as 2030 is coming, right? And they are trying to develop their economy away from the petrodollars towards a consumer-based economy, a tech-focused economy. Things will change. By that time, if you have the skills, it will be worth it for you. Okay? This is my recommendation for you, inshallah. Any questions?
Sir, Al-Nafi is still developing the resumes?
Only once you complete Al-Razak, part 2. You have to complete. You have already passed the exam. When is your membership expiring?
It is going to expire by the end of this year, early December.
So you have September, October, November, December. You can do, right? 4 months of, you paid your fee. Were you able to see EduQual, Al-Razak Part 2 labs in the portal?
Yes, I have. I have started. I'm already on it. Started Docker
By
and
December, when it expires, you will already have by that time have access to 6 months of Al-Razak, 5 to 6 months, whatever, right? Depending on when your membership is expiring, you will have that. That is a lot of labs. If you want to go and break into cybersecurity, you can do that. SOC operations, you can do that. All of those areas, you can do that, inshallah. Okay? So that is my recommendation. You can even go and apply for AI implementation, right? Where prepare the companies for AI adoption, right? DevOps, that's one area you can go, inshallah, right? You are young. 42 is nothing. You will get all the points and everything, right? You still have another 30 years in the tank before you say, I'm now retired, right? So there's a lot of time on your side. But you have to make tactical decisions quickly, inshallah, right? That is my recommendation for you, because Saudi Arabia is a place, because if you're not on a high, if you're not like on a good scale, then whatever you're earning, you're spending,
yes, that is the case.
right? You can't. A good salary with a family is considered 25 to 30,000 Saudi riyal. That's considered a good salary. Below
Yes.
than that, if you have kids, if you're alone, 10,000, 15,000 is okay. But if you're living with a family, because they're also charging for Akama as well, right? For all the family members. Is your company paying, or you paying for that as well?
Our company don't pay.
So you have a 5 and 3 kids, 400 riyals for every person.
Per
That's
head
like
per month. Yes.
per month. So 1,600 riyals per month are going for 4 family members.
This is the same amount is going to go to the rent and then the insurance, which is a must.
Yes. So you can imagine, like, you're spending 3,500 Saudi riyal, right? Just like that, and you're not able to save anything. So Saudi Arabia is a good place, but they need to change the laws, and they need to change certain things to allow people to go up, right? They are looking into that, and it will take time. I don't know how long, but I do know this, that they will eventually do it, because they need people to stay there. They need the economy. If there are 10 people in Saudi Arabia, 5 of them are Ajam, 5 of them are Arab. In UAE, it's completely opposite. One is Arab, 9 are Ajams. The economy, I'm not saying that. I'm not making this up. You can check the expats divide. In UAE, it's too much. So 10% of the population is Ajam, is Arab. The 90% are expats. If they leave the country, everything, there won't be anyone over there except cats and dogs, right? So similarly, in Saudi Arabia, they have the land. They're not constrained with that, all of those things. So they are doing certain things, the 2030 vision. So more and more jobs will be coming up. But these are new, highly paid jobs. If I ask the same question from a Saudi, about post-quantum cryptography and stuff like that, he will have a very difficult time, because he's not interested in studying, right? So until they change that mentality, which will take them time, right? There will always be a requirement for Ajams to come in and fill the void. That's what we have told the investors. Like we want, we'll be training 500,000 Saudis and 500,000, non-Saudis expats. And they said why? And I said like, look, meeting the 500,000 Saudis is very difficult because they're not interested in studying. If a Saudi is wearing a clean clothes, has a good has an expensive phone, and he can go out with his friends and sit and have some tea and some dates. He has nothing else to worry
Let's
about.
buy coffee now.
Oh, they're now going towards coffee. It's already too hot over there. When I went there, I had coffee. I said like, this is too hot. This place is not good for coffee. So I shift to the Saudi tea, right? So it was very simple, alhamdulillah. But anyway, the point is like, I am coming there, inshallah. My goal is to make sure because they need these people. So if I search online, just to show you, right? If I search online and go here and say, AI governance consultant, Saudi Arabia, starting salary, right? So the starting salary for an artificial intelligence consultant in Saudi Arabia is this, right? So this is the ERI economic research. You can check on that, etc., right? So even like having like for a single occupant, like if it's a single person, a bachelor, a monthly salary of 5,000 is good for leading a comfortable life. For a family of four, this is what you have to do, right? So to reach that, you can earn this. This is an average pay. You can earn 100, like 10,000 Saudi riyal. Easy. Complete the labs. Because when you're doing the labs, we will make sure that you do the same job description implementation as you're going through right now. Right? So we will make sure that you do all of those things as it is required. Right? So that will be good enough for you, inshallah. So this is my recommendation for you. May Allah give you more success, inshallah. Okay. Kids' education is very expensive in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
As they are going to grow older, you will see that it's going to get more expensive and expensive, right? So you have to come up with a better plan to provide them the best education so that they are also able to build up their own careers, right? Otherwise, it's better to go back and live in Pakistan, right? The only thing here which is stable is stable economy. There is no load shedding. There is no corruption in the police. There is no corruption in other places. Yes, there is nationalism, but the isms are everywhere. We do the same thing when people go in Pakistan. So the true essence of Islam is not there in all the places, but it exists in some of the places. And it is, even in Makkah and Medina, it is there. People are still, very good, alhamdulillah, right? So you will find all the good things. So there are good things, but then there are some not so good things. I wouldn't say there are bad things in Saudi Arabia yet, right? Until I see it myself. Hearing and seeing are two different things. So may Allah unite the Muslims, give them success, give us nusra, right? And strengthen us with the things that we need to make sure that we pay attention to. I believe that the Ajams in Saudi, especially from those who are coming from the Asian countries, their wala wal bara is still with Allah and His Messenger. So they can give away their lives for the sake of the sanctity and the sovereignty of the country of Saudi Arabia, right? Saudi Arabia needs to decide and think in terms of paying them better salaries. This is all I can say, right? May Allah make it easy for all of you, inshallah. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. Yes, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
Jazakallah khair. Congratulations in terms of passing the exam. If you need anything, let us know, and we will be more than happy to assist you, inshallah. Okay, Jazakallah khair. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك